hope you can hear me. Thank you for being here, online, and thank you first to Sharon and the team at AITN2020 for having me here. So, yeah, we're talking about hope in the age of COVID-19. First, let's start with, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your level of hope? You know, you got a chat. Just 1 is, 10 is like, I am very hopeful. Just put it down, and so we get an idea of what it's like in terms of our community, of what the level of hope. I'll start with this. Now there's something I haven't had for a long time, and I can imagine this is how quite a few of us are feeling right now with everything that's going on. So I'm hoping in this session to explore about what does hope mean, and what practical advice and ways you can implement some of these learnings and research. So according to Cinder, he's one of the leading researchers on hope. So hope is a positive motivational state that is based on interactively derived sense of successful agency and be pathways towards your goals. So knowing what you want, think of a ways to get there, and you have a way to start and get going. Hope that makes sense. Why hope? So if you have high hope, research shows you see barriers as challenges to overcome and use their pathway thoughts to plan alternative routes towards their goals. And high hopes has been found to correlate beneficial constructs, including academic achievements and lower levels of depression. Sounds good, right? And I'm just sharing 3 benefits here. So improve self-esteem, superior academic and athletic performance. It has the potential to enhance well-being over time. It helps initiate and sustain action towards long-term goals, including flexible management of obstacles that get in the way of goal attainment. Why I was talking about hope is this particular thing is super, super useful in the context of the climate that we are living in at the moment. So hopefully you see that too. And then linking this to optimism. So there's just slight difference. So optimism is a positive attitude that a future event is probably unlikely to occur. The optimist expects that life will work out well and as expected. On the other side, hope. A hopeful individual recognizes that life might not work out as planned, yet maintains positive expectancy directed towards possible outcomes that hold personal significance. In these times, the idea of personal significance is even more important right now, because this idea of meaning and purpose is an exploration that quite a lot of us is coming up around these times. So hopefully, with learning about hope, a worthy investment of your time, so stick around for the next 13 minutes. And my promise to you is you'll look away with practical tips and learnings that can help you shine a different light to your own exploration. My invitation is for you to give your full attention for, the next 12, 13 minutes. We'll start with, what did you do on the Friday on the 20th of March on the lockdown? Just a couple of seconds to just remind yourself, what did you do? What was it like? Do you know what I did? I accidentally orchestrated a lockdown experience in the countryside in the Peak District. So it's called a vision quest. So I was in a shed next to a river by myself, no food, no tech, no books, no food. I said that already. Only drinking water for 3 days. And you might be thinking, why would you want to do that? And I ask the same question now. But imagine what it's like. Like, when was the last time you had 6 hours without your phone? 6 hours without speaking to anybody? 6 hours without even reading a book? And for me, it's like, what is it like to pierce through the veil of boredom? Because there was this thing that I don't want to be bored. You know, there's this narrative that comes up. And another question, like for me, it's how deep you connect to others is directly correlated with how deep you've connected with yourself. My work is about connecting with people. So the more I connect with myself, the better this can be. I can connect with others. This is my perspective. Who am I? So I'm Angga Karra. I wear 3 hats in life. Well, I have multiple hats, but 3 particular ones. So one of my work is executive coaching. So I help support mainly leaders to help navigate through a high period of stress and uncertainty. especially on these times. I've been supporting over 20 leaders from Fortune 100 companies, and some of the learnings and the tips that have emerged from the patterns is what I'll be sharing later on. Second is I'm a partner at Leading Practice. We are the #1 provider for enterprise and industry standards worldwide. My focus is digital transformation in Asia for 2 industries. 1 is government and 2 is oil and gas. We're used in 38% of Fortune 500 companies. These are standards that are used in these companies. And what I love about Leading Practice is we are working in close collaboration with Global University Alliance. It's a not-for-profit entity that have existed for over 15 years. I think it was 2004. And we link to the other global standards as well. So I'm super excited about it. The third is MenUpNorth. So in 2017, 3 of my male friends took their lives, and it really, really broke my heart. And reflecting upon my own mental ill health, I've been depressed, I've had 2 burnouts, suicidal thoughts. I've been to the depth of hell and back, and I got back a bit browner. And reflecting upon that, there was 3 things that came up. So there was like, for men anyway, in my experience, it's like the shame around not being able to handle it all. Second is once I have recognized that I can't handle it all, who can I speak to? Third is once I recognize that and I want to speak to, what are the communities? So I thought, all right, let's create community. And since 2017, over 1,200 men has come through our doors from the ages of 18 to 72 from 14 different heritage backgrounds. So this is a truly intergenerational and cross-cultural space where men show up as they are without the masks that we wear in society and, yeah, be real. And this links directly to some of our topics, which is mental health. 2 days ago was World Mental Health Day. I don't know if you know. Now you know. I just want to, for me, this is clarifying the idea of mental health. We have physical health, but when people talking about mental health, it gets really confused in terms of the terms. So this is, in this context, I just want to clarify for me anyway. So it's a scale. I guess on the left side, you have the idea of mental health disorders and mental illness. In the middle is people that are at risk. And on the right, people that are resilient and have strong mental health. According to WHO, 1 billion, close to 1 billion people worldwide have a mental disorder. That's a lot of people. And during COVID-19, 93% countries worldwide have disrupted or halted their critical mental health services. And in a GMB poll, over 13,000 people have said, well, 60% of 13,000 people said their work had a serious impact on their negative impact on their mental health. Why? Well, if we just take it back, it's as a society, we are living in a space that is heightened sense of fear, heightened sense of uncertainties and insecurities. It's like we don't know what's going to happen in the near future. When is this all going to end? There's been massive changes in our lifestyle that we've experienced over the past 6 months. And the last one is existential questions. I might die. My family might die. My friends might die, or some of them have died. And people in the world. So this forces us to think deeply and have these questions that we've not even thought about for a long time, or even give space to even explore these kind of questions. And then physiologically, because of all this external stress, we respond from fight or flight. This is thinking to the autonomous nervous system. The fight or flight is your rapid heartbeat, there's trembling, there's sweating, you've got dilated pupils. So why you don't want to be in what's called this idea of fight or flight is when you're in fight or flight, our brain, which part of that is the prefrontal cortex, which our reasoning and our, basically, be able to respond in a constructive manner, that shuts down. When that shuts down, what's left is our amygdala, or our primal brain, which fights or flights. So we can perceive whatever is coming to us as threats, if that makes sense. So what can we do? Okay, let's start with the first tip, which is 3 mindful deep breaths. So let's do this together. So sit uncomfortably, no, not uncomfortably, comfortably. legs uncrossed. If you want, you can close your eyes and just take a deep breath through your nose. So think about breathing to your belly, not to your chest. If you think about this, it's like if you're running, then you go, it's like shallow breathing. But what you want is deep belly breathe. Okay, let's start with breath number 1. Breathe in, hold, and release. Second one, deep breath in, hold, and release. Deep breath 3, and hold, slowly release. Cool, thank you. Hopefully you feel better. Second is the 80-20. You probably have heard this before. So 20% of the causes of the impact comes from the 80%. So it's maybe 20% of your work impacts the 80% of the impact. So you probably heard of this before, but like the question here is, have you applied it? So my invitation here is for you to, utilize this perspective. So first tool is the inspire or expire. Does your day inspire you or expire you? Make a table. So list out all your typical activities in the day. And then next to it, ask yourself, does this inspire me or does it expire me? And then from there, objectively look at what your list is like. Cool. And then next, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do to inspire me? Next, circle of concern and circle of influence. This is from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's a concept called proactive and reactive. So the proactive means being responsible for our own lives. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our condition. Especially in this time of life, there's a lot of things that we think we're responsible for. The invitation here is figuring out what is within your concern and what is within your influence. So this is a way. List out your concerns. On another page, have 2 circles. What you can do about, which is your influence, and what you're concerned about, but you can't do anything about. And the idea here is to start thinking, what's within my influence and what's within my concern. Third, next one is Eisenhower matrix, or Covey's time management matrix. This is really good if you're feeling really overwhelmed. So you've got the urgent and important on your top left, and then on the bottom right is not urgent and not important. So time is something that is being really stretched and pushed here. So this is a really good way for you to clarify what's important for you. Next one is alchemize constraints into decisions. For me, what this means is when I come back after the experience, it was the lockdown. My life involves traveling. So instead of saying I have to stay in, I shifted the perspective to go, I choose to stay in. And from that choosing to stay in, then it gave me the possibility of like, how does my house look like, which I'm inspired to be in? Next is reestablish your daily routines or habits. So do you have a morning routine? You spend your time to get yourself ready? Do you do any meditation, any movement, any journaling? On the other side of that, what's your sleep hygiene like? Do you have a regular sleep time? Do you reduce your blue light intake? Especially we're in the tech world and more now. Like another tip is floor or low light. It'd be useful. Another one is moments of joy or take notice. So in your day, where the variations are not that much. But what you can do is be aware of something that you can notice. So a good thing that's happened today was the train wasn't delayed coming to Manchester. Next one is beware of your coping strategies. We all have different ways, but some of them are healthy and some of them are unhealthy. This is from Mental Health Foundation, Wave 7, late August. So almost half of the UK population felt anxious or worried. 1 in 5 felt lonely and afraid in the past 2 weeks. This was in August. And then on there it says going for a walk outside, help with stress. Visiting green spaces. So the thing here is just to be aware of what's your coping strategies like. Right. Next is air quality. So think about your air quality in terms of this is some of the parts per million. This is a research around like chronic exposure, inflammation, reductions in higher level of cognitive abilities, bone demineralization, kidney calcification. Tip here is get a CO2 monitor and just look into it. So what's your learnings and takeaways from the talk, and how can I apply it? So my invitation here is rather than viewing it and make it practical. And if you feel like you want support, exclusive to AITN2020, I'm offering a 15 minutes laser coaching session. And if you're interested, there's a link below or somewhere. Feel free to, book on and have a conversation. And before I go, I'll leave you with this. My name is Angga Karra. Thank you very much.